Imagine trying to pull the future closer, with nothing but thought. You stretch your mind toward it, but the thread slips from your hands. The vision remains distant, like a reflection in water you cannot touch. This is where most teachings on manifestation end, with the illusion that thought alone bends reality. Hermes Trismegistus once wrote, "As above, so below, as within, so without." But what if we've misunderstood him? What if manifestation has never been about simply thinking positive, but about tuning the hidden frequency that bridges the invisible with the visible? Here is the uncomfortable truth. The law you've been taught is incomplete. Behind the books, the courses, and the popularized rituals lies another principle, one that was hidden from the masses, preserved only in mystery schools, because of how dangerous and powerful it could be. We will uncover that forbidden law, the principle that explains why your visions so often dissolve into air, and why, when you finally align with it, reality itself has no choice but to crystallize before you. The ancients never spoke of positive thinking. They spoke of forces, of resonance, of the hidden strings beneath matter. To them, manifestation was not wishful hoping. It was a sacred technology. The Hermetic initiates, the alchemists, the magi, all guarded the knowledge that reality could be bent only when one knew how to strike the right chord in the cosmic instrument. In the temples of Egypt, initiation was not a lecture, but a ritual. Symbols carved into stone were not decorations. They were equations of vibration. Priests trained disciples to feel how a single chant, repeated with precision, could alter the atmosphere of an entire chamber. These were not affirmations to convince the mind. They were frequencies designed to command the field. In medieval Europe, the alchemists hid the same truth under the language of metals and fire. Turning lead into gold was never about metal alone. It was about transmuting the density of the self into a higher vibration, until the outer world had no choice but to reflect the inner shift. Their cryptic manuscripts were manuals of resonance disguised as chemistry. And across the world, shamans held ceremonies where drums, plants, and silence tuned the tribe to altered states of consciousness. To them, manifestation was not a solitary effort, but a collective alignment, a weaving of many vibrations into one fabric. What do all these traditions have in common? They never saw manifestation as thought alone. They saw it as vibration, a secret that was too powerful to be given to the unprepared. And if the ancients protected it so fiercely, what did they know that we have forgotten? Centuries later, science began to glimpse what the ancients wrapped in symbol. Quantum physics shattered the old certainty that matter was solid, stable, predictable. At the subatomic level, reality flickered. Particles existed as waves of possibility, collapsing into form only when observed. It was as if the universe itself waited for consciousness before deciding which stage to build. Physicists called it the collapse of the wave function. But look closer. Doesn't that sound eerily similar to the Hermetic axiom, the all is mind, the universe is mental? Where the initiate once chanted in a temple, today the scientist describes interference patterns on a screen. The language is different, but the mystery is the same. Imagine reality as a theater. The props, the scenery, the characters, none of it exists until the spotlight of awareness strikes the stage. Until then, everything is suspended in shadow, potential waiting to be called forth. This is not metaphor, it is experiment, repeated and recorded. The observer does not simply watch the play, the observer helps write the script. Modern neuroscience echoes this as well. Brain scans reveal that intention alters not just perception, but physiology. Visualization can accelerate healing. Focused states of mind can sharpen performance beyond training alone. Consciousness is not a passive witness, it is an active agent. And yet, even with these discoveries, science hesitates at the threshold. It describes the effects but rarely names the cause. It sees the collapse of potential, but avoids asking, collapse into what, and guided by whom? Which leaves us with a question the ancients already dared to answer. What law is truly operating in this hidden theater of reality? Here is the truth you were never told. Intention alone is not enough. Thought alone cannot bend the fabric of the world. What bends it is resonance, the hidden harmony between mind, emotion, and subconscious. This is the law that was whispered in secret chambers, taught only to initiates, and disguised under layers of symbol. It is what I call the law of quantum resonance. Think of reality as a tuning fork. If you strike it with scattered thought, the sound is faint, distorted, easily lost. But when thought, feeling, and subconscious belief vibrate as one, the sound is pure, undeniable. The field answers instantly, because it cannot resist coherence. You do not attract what you want, you attract what you are in frequency. This is why so many manifestation techniques fail. They give you affirmations for the conscious mind, but they never touch the subconscious. They excite you with hope, but they do not anchor the vibration in emotion. The result? Static without signal, intention without resonance, a radio broadcasting on a frequency no one can hear. The ancients protected this law because they knew its danger. In the wrong hands, resonance could distort as easily as it could create. To make hatred coherent is to summon nightmares. To make fear coherent is to lock yourself in loops. That is why the law of quantum resonance was hidden from the masses. Not because it was false, but because it was too true. And so here is the forbidden revelation. Reality is not shaped by your wishes. It is shaped by your frequency. The question is not, what do I want, but what am I vibrating? Until you learn to align those vibrations, you will keep watching your visions dissolve like mist. But when you do, reality will crystallize so quickly that it will feel like a miracle, though it is nothing more than law. If the law of quantum resonance is so fundamental, why is it absent from most teachings? Why is the public told to visualize and wait, while the true mechanism is buried? The answer is as old as power itself: control. In ancient kingdoms, the masses were taught obedience, not creation. To reveal that reality could be shaped from within would dissolve thrones overnight. Rulers knew that a population who understood resonance would no longer fear decrees or dogmas because they would carry the fire of creation inside themselves. So the law was veiled. In temples, it was hidden in myth. In scriptures, it was cloaked in parable. The elite studied in secret while the many repeated prayers they did not understand. Knowledge became hierarchy, a few with the key, the rest locked out. Even in later centuries, the same pattern remained. Institutions, both religious and political, reduced manifestation to superstition. When it could not be suppressed, it was distorted. What survives today in much of popular self-help is a shadow, a simplified shell designed to inspire, but never to empower. This is the tragedy. Humanity was taught to beg for miracles instead of generating them, to look outward to priests, kings, or systems instead of inward to vibration. The fire was never extinguished, only hidden, like a flame locked inside a lantern. Which raises the real question: if the law still burns, how do we access it now? If resonance is the true engine of manifestation, then the subconscious is its conductor. It is the silent bridge between thought and reality, the hidden scriptwriter that decides whether a vision is a fleeting daydream or a tangible event. The conscious mind declares, "I want abundance." But if the subconscious holds fear, scarcity, or unworthiness, the vibration collapses. The broadcast is jammed by static. The universe does not answer words, it answers the frequency carried beneath them. Picture the subconscious as an unseen architect. By day, the conscious mind drafts quick sketches, hopes, affirmations, goals. By night, the subconscious edits the blueprint, deciding which lines are strong enough to build into stone. If the subconscious repeats the same old patterns, the building never changes. The design is copied over and over again. This is why so many people wake into the same reality each day. Their subconscious replays the same loops, the same fears, the same identities, the same conclusions about what is possible. Without intervention, the subconscious becomes a prison guard, locking the soul into yesterday's reality. But here lies the key. Once the subconscious is tuned to a new vibration, it becomes the most powerful ally of all. It does not tire, it does not doubt. It repeats the resonance endlessly, like a song playing on loop, until reality itself reshapes to match. Which means the question is no longer whether you can think a new life, but whether you can reprogram the conductor that decides the tune of your existence. If resonance is the hidden law, then how do we step into alignment with it? The answer is not mysticism for mysticism's sake. It is practice, a protocol, a way of tuning thought, emotion, and subconscious into one coherent signal that the field cannot ignore. The ancients understood this well. In Egypt, initiates were trained to visualize symbols not as pictures, but as living vibrations. The ankh, the scarab, the sun disk. Each was a frequency encoded in form. In India, mantras were not words but sound currents, designed to carry the practitioner into resonance with higher states. Every ritual, every chant, every symbol was a tuning fork. Modern seekers can access the same principle. Begin with intention, the clear thought of what you choose to call forth. Then pair it with emotion, not hope, but the visceral feeling as if it already lives within you. Anchor it in the subconscious by repetition, by imagery, by embodying the vibration daily. This is not about convincing yourself. It is about training your inner field to hum with coherence. Picture it like a lens. Scattered light passes through and disperses into nothing. But when aligned, the lens focuses that same light into a beam capable of burning through stone. Manifestation works the same way. Scattered intention dissipates, but focused resonance reshapes reality. The protocol is simple, but not easy. Coherence, thought, feeling, subconscious, aligned as one. Miss one element, and the circuit fails. Align them all, and the field responds with such precision it seems like magic. But it is not magic. It is law. Every law carries power, and every power carries risk. The ancients did not hide the law of quantum resonance out of greed alone, but out of caution. For the same fire that can light the way can also burn the unprepared. When resonance is aligned with fear, it amplifies nightmares. When it is aligned with anger, it summons conflict. The field does not moralize, it mirrors. A coherent vibration of shadow will crystallize just as surely as a vibration of light. This is why careless manifestation creates loops, distortions, and realities that feel like cages instead of doorways. The alchemists knew this. They described the unbalanced fire, energy released without mastery, consuming instead of illuminating. Shamans warned of sorcerers who fell into their own creations, trapped by the resonance of their darkest impulses. In every tradition, the message was the same. The law obeys without question, which is why it demands responsibility. Imagine a sword of light. In steady hands, it becomes a tool of creation, cutting through illusion, shaping destiny. In reckless hands, it destroys its wielder as surely as it destroys others. The law of resonance is that sword. To wield it requires more than desire. It requires alignment, clarity, and integrity. And so the question arises, if manifestation is not wishful thinking, but resonance itself, then how should we treat it? Not as a game, but as an initiation. Not as entertainment, but as a sacred responsibility. Which brings us to the final truth, how to treat life itself as a laboratory of resonance. To understand resonance is to understand that life itself is a laboratory. Every thought, every emotion, every intention is an experiment, a frequency sent into the field, awaiting reflection. Some crystallize quickly, collapsing into form almost instantly. Others require repetition, adjustment, refinement, until coherence becomes undeniable. History is full of hints. Nikola Tesla claimed his greatest insights came not from study, but from visions. Edison used to nap holding metal spheres, waking at the threshold between sleep and waking to capture ideas. Kekulé dreamed the structure of the benzene ring. These were not accidents. They were experiments of resonance, where the subconscious and the field aligned to reveal hidden patterns. Picture the alchemist in his chamber. Around him, flasks and flames. But the true experiment was always inward. He was testing vibrations, adjusting frequencies, refining inner states until the outer mirrored the transformation. Gold was never just a metal. It was the symbol of perfected resonance. This is the secret most miss. Manifestation is not miracle. It is practice. It is laboratory work, a process of aligning, failing, adjusting, and aligning again until the field can no longer resist coherence. The miracle is not that it happens. The miracle is that it cannot not happen once resonance is perfected. Each night, each intention, is an invitation to this laboratory. Each act of alignment is a rehearsal for the reality you wish to inhabit. What you call the future is not waiting to arrive. It is waiting to be tuned. And the moment your vibration matches it, the door opens, and the prototype becomes the world you wake into. You have seen now what most were never meant to see. Manifestation is not thought alone. It is not hope, or affirmation, or waiting for the universe to grant a wish. It is resonance, the law hidden in plain sight, guarded by the ancients, echoed by science, and now placed back into your hands. Every vision that fades, every desire that slips away, has done so for one reason: incoherence. But when thought, emotion, and subconscious align into one clear vibration, the field has no choice. Reality bends, worlds crystallize. The future you once chased begins to chase you. This is the forbidden law, the law of quantum resonance. Not a superstition, but a mechanism. Not magic, but a mirror. The universe is not withholding from you. It is waiting for you to sing in tune. So the question is no longer, will it happen? The real question is, what frequency will you carry into the next moment, the next day, the next life you are creating? Because each night, each intention, each act of alignment is already a rehearsal for the reality you are stepping into. The law is not hidden anymore. It is alive in you, right now. Honor it. Use it. Become the vibration of the world you long to live. And watch as that world begins to appear. And if you are ready to keep walking this path, to uncover more of the hidden codes, the forgotten laws, the ancient truths returning for this age, then step fully into this circle. Subscribe to Infinity Echoes. Activate the bell. And together, let us keep tuning the frequencies of reality until the veil itself dissolves.